Everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. It appears the hype elements are back in the rank and file. Warner Brothers Games Montreal is not stopping with their promotionals and their marketing. I think it's already come full circle. They're now doing a lot of their cinematic stuff, and this is some of the stuff that I think is going to redefine the way video games are done in the future. Now, all of the criticisms aside, all of the different, little concerns and all of this stuff, at this point, you already know where you stand. Are you playing Gotham Knights or not? You've already answered that question weeks, months, maybe even years ago. The big deal here is these cinematic trailers are actually coming at the back of already featured gameplay. So yes, you're getting to see the differences between both of them. And that's one really interesting thing about cinematic trailers compared to gameplay. I remember very much when we first saw this gameplay, and I remember that we also got a cinematic at that time. And for some people, they were probably not certain as to what was gameplay and what isn't. In my videos, I've already done a lot of different comparisons and explanations as to how the cinematics are done and how the gameplays are actually done. So this cinematic that you're seeing here is rendered within the game engine, but it's just done in a higher quality using cinematic elements within the engine. The gameplay, on the other hand, is rendered using regular gameplay cameras, and so you're not going to be able to get this kind of cinematic quality or these textures at all, even though all these elements are inside of the engine. It's kind of weird, but Unreal Engine is just one of those engines that is quite super in the way that it does things, and the crazier thing is it's actually free. And I love the way the cinematic actually goes out. It gives you story elements as to exactly what it is that the knights are dealing with. The best thing so far also is the reactions that I'm starting to see from audiences surrounding all of this. This is actually pretty cool. If you go, say, maybe to one of the videos, like something on, say, the DC YouTube channel, and read comments, there are possibly a few hundred comments so far, you're going to realize that there are a lot of people that are quite excited for this project. Maybe you go ahead and, take a look and say, okay, what's going on? What are fans saying? Some people are saying crazy, regardless of, how the game turns out. This trailer tells me the devs had their heart in the right place. I think so. I've made my case that, I think this game was probably a game that was mandated to them, and they have done the very best that they can because the game is representative of something that they truly tapped into a vision for. The Batmaniac says this cinematic gave me nostalgia vibes to what Warner Bros. Montreal did a couple of years ago with Deathstroke and Batman fighting as an ad for Arkham Origins. Epic cinematics were their thing then, and epic cinematics are still their thing now. Gotta admire that. Let's go. I think the artistic team that has been at the helm of this studio is probably still doing work on the background. Yes, the creative director is maybe much newer than some. In my other video from yesterday, I showed you guys that the character art director has been in the studio since Warner Brothers Games Montreal made Arkham Origins. So I'm certain that's probably why we're seeing this level of quality on the art and everything. And some people, they're criticizing the art style, saying all this stuff that, oh, the game looks this way or it looks that way, when in reality, the game looks just like the Damian Wayne game when we got to see a lot of the, concept art for the Damian Wayne game in terms of the city, the neon lights and all of that. So I think overall, they maintained the art integrity of the vision that the studio wanted to use, and they pretty much have tried to adapt it to the Gotham Knights game. I guess fans are going to judge at the end of the day how that goes. Let's keep looking at some of these comments because I think it's really pertinent that we see what's going on. Someone said, this is such a gorgeous Gotham Knights trailer. I love it. Shockwave says, that's a gorgeous trailer. Got me thinking about getting it now. Gorgeous trailer. Shockwave, if you've not made up your mind at this point, I don't know what to tell you, man. But for a lot of people, we already know exactly where we stand. It's incredible how the art style is both incredibly intricate and super simple. It's amazing. And that's what I like about the art style of this game. It's its simplicity. I've always commented that is my number one aspect in terms of what I actually do think this game holds, is a strong point. It's very different from the other Arkham games. I think the other Arkham games have been able to use also another really dark art style. This one has used a much more neon, almost punk in a sense, not cyberpunk, but almost in a punk style. And it's done it well. For me, cyberpunk is overwhelming, but there is a middle ground. Gotham Knights really knocks that out. David Stevens says, this game looks like it's going to be so good. I don't care what anyone says about it. Warner Brothers did so good on this. It even brings back memories from Batman, the animated series, but in its own way. Interesting. I don't see that, but hey, that's what someone else sees. Someone says, holy fudge, I was not expecting these to bring me tears. The cinematic trailer was done masterfully, and I loved every second. Zachary says, Alfred just standing there roasting these poor kids on their biggest insecurities. I think you got to address the insecurities, buddy. Absolute chills, says just the guy who plays. Nobody says, did anyone get chills? I didn't get any chills, but I did enjoy the fact that these things were all brought to light. So this is what I think the fan base is actually doing in terms of the way they're resonating with this trailer. And I cannot say or comment, on how good it is that they've actually unveiled the marketing and have transformed the entire narrative. We used to be in a place where the devs were not in a position to do much marketing, or their marketing and communications team were not bringing anything out. But I think it was probably because of maybe the technical issues on which consoles and all of the above they were going to use. Now, another thing, too, that I wanted to talk about in this video before I wrap it up is, so far, so good. The only mention of performance we've heard is from PlayStation Access. One of my audience members said that PlayStation Access mentioned that they were playing the game at 4K 30 FPS with ray tracing on the PS5. So I don't know if there's anything that you can go down on that is, basically in terms of your settings. So I guess we'll see. But PC seems to be able to be, capable of running the game at some crazy frequencies, especially with the 4090 just dropping today. In terms of the performance, my goodness, that graphics card is terribly powerful. So we'll see how the game performs on all these different platforms. I'm looking forward to playing on PC, maybe a little bit on Xbox, depending on how it is. I'll probably do a comparison, and we'll be talking more about Gotham Knights very soon. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.